everyone, it's Brian. I haven't been on for a while. Sorry about that. Tonight I'm coming to you to talk about what's coming up with Pampered Chef this fall, what's coming up with my new show themes. And this year, this season, it's really going to be all about solution-driven recipes, one-pot meals. I'm going to show you some new products that are coming out as well. I'm going to show you how we're going to take what we would think of as non-traditional pans and pots to make meals in, and I'm going to show you how we're going to actually do that. But today, right now, I'm going to show you one of my favorite one-pot meals, and it's actually called Chicken Easy No Steer Risotto. The great concept behind this recipe is you can add anything you want. You don't want chicken, then leave the chicken out. You want to make it with seafood, make it with seafood. But the bottom line is it's all about one-pot meals. And this recipe actually features a rock crock, and I'm making it in the Dutch oven. You can make it in the 2.5 quart everyday one. I happen to like the rock crock Dutch oven one. So in here I have a little bit of butter. I added some basil to it. I make flavored butters. If you kind of saw my post the other day, a bunch of flavored butters out there. But basically, I'm going to take the butter and I'm going to melt the butter a little bit on top of the stove. Let that get going. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use our manual food processor. For those of you who don't have this, is an amazing product. In here I have about a half of an onion, just a traditional old yellow onion. I'm going to put the cover on, and I'm going to just kind of beat this a few times, just to kind of get the onions diced up. Shake it about a little bit, just to kind of get them moving around in there. And you want to kind of finely diced. Okay, that's pretty much what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can bring it closer. I know the light in this kitchen stinks. But there's the onions. I'm going to kind of wait till the butter is melted in the rock crock. The great concept about the rock crock is it's heat safe up to 752 degrees. It can go on top of your stove, in your oven, under your broiler, on your grill outside, in your microwave, and that's how we're going to use it today. It's freezer safe, refrigerator safe, dishwasher safe, and can go on your grill outside. So it's really a one-pot deal, and you can actually freeze in it. So that's a great concept when you have recipes already done. The butter is melted enough now, so I'm going to add the onion right to the pot. Okay, I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to really clean it yet because I'm going to use it again. And then what I have here is I have 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, now you can use the garlic press for that. That's a wonderful product for that. But in this case, I'm not going to. I'm going to use the garlic slicer and the garlic peeler. I'm going to show you how that works. You just kind of take a clove of garlic, skin and all, just put it in the peeler, and then with a rocking motion, you hear it kind of cracking. It comes out peeled. Okay, now I'm going to actually add that garlic to the manual food processor, and you're going to kind of see why in a second. I'll do another one quick for you here while I make a mess. Peel's going all over the floor. But there you go. Here's the concept. The whole clove is peeled. Stick that in there. And then, because I love garlic, we're going to do 3 cloves. So there you go. That one actually came out fast. And there you go. It's that easy. But I'm going to show you this slicer because traditionally that's how I would do it. You would just stick the peeled garlic clove in there, put the top on like that, and you turn this clockwise, and you kind of see what's happening here. The garlic is coming out paper thin. and you really wouldn't get garlic that thin with a traditional knife. Okay, so we're going to kind of take this, we're going to stick this in. I'm going to put these other pieces in the manual food processor. Okay, and why I chose to do it that way is simply because I want it a little bit more chopped than I want it actually crushed. Okay, just going to steer these onions a little bit. The concept of the onions is you want to get them soft. You don't really want to get them cooked. There we go. Steer that around a little bit. So now I have here about 3 good-sized pieces from a bottle jar of roasted red peppers, and I also have some sun-dried tomatoes. Now again, these are optional ingredients. You don't like them, leave them out. I happen to love them, so we're putting them in. I put them right in there with the garlic. Put the cover back on. I'm going to do this a few times. Until you get kind of a paste. Okay? I'm going to take this, I'm going to add this to the onions. There we go. Steer that around a little bit. Just let that kind of simmer and cook a little bit till the onions again get soft. So I'm all set with the manual food processor. It's an amazing product. No holes in the bottom, nothing comes through. Silicone base so it doesn't slide. The top you would just rinse off, and then you have the 3-prong blade itself. Okay, amazingly sharp to make all kinds of salads, salsa, things of that nature. Okay, so now when the onions get a little soft and kind of translucent, I'm going to just add about 3 cups of chicken broth. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 cup of arborio rice, and I'm going to kind of put that in the pan. Let that kind of mix it up a little bit, and then I'm going to add. Normally you would add spinach. I didn't have any, so I have kale here. I just wilted the kale a little bit in the microwave, but again, that's not really a necessity. And then at the end, I'm going to add some of my favorite capers and Parmesan cheese. Okay, so we got the onions, they're all going. I'm going to stir those up a little bit, and we're good to go with the onions. And this is kind of what it looks like, so you get some sort of an idea of what's going on here in the pot. This is what it looks like. Okay, now to that, I'm going to add the 1 cup of arborio rice. And you definitely want to try to use arborio rice for this because the starch consistency is a lot different than the traditional, let's say, long grain rice or like a rosemary type of rice. So you're going to kind of mix that up. You're going to add the 3 cups of broth. I'm going to stir that around a little bit. Now I'm going to put that on the put this in the microwave for about 12 to 13 minutes, and then we'll see what we got from there. Okay. Now, the chicken, we're going to actually grill in our grill pan. Now, you could, if you wanted to, do the chicken in the rock first. It would take about 5 minutes in the rock, stir it up a little bit, maybe another minute or so. Take the chicken out, wipe out the rock and start again. But I like the flavor of the grill, so I'm going to just kind of take the grill, put the grill on the stove for a second, let it get a little bit warm. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of my favorite products. This is actually called the frozen cut. Looks like a big kind of circle, top and the bottom. And there you go. Okay, this is spring loaded here and here. it's great and ideal for cutting breads and things like that. Mushrooms, tomatoes, eggs, the small mozzarella cheese balls. They're great for that as well. But in this case, we're going to actually take the chicken breast. We're going to put the chicken breast in there. That's a good sized chicken breast. Take your knife, and we're going to actually just bring the knife through, just like that, okay? And you see in essence what we've done here is we've cut the chicken completely in half. So we actually ended up with, I'm going to give you the best picture here. We actually got 2 chicken breasts, okay? The great concept behind this is no more pounding chicken when you have to make chicken cutlets or things of that nature. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chicken, and I actually did 2 other breasts before. You guys didn't need to see me do 3 breasts. So I'm going to take that, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the chicken breast. Oh, there's 2 pieces there. Okay? And I'm just going to coat it with one of our rubs or our seasonings. This one happens to be a Southwestern, kind of one of my favorite. So basically what you're going to do is just kind of coat it a little bit. In some cases, maybe take the top off. Spread it around pretty liberally. And then you just want to kind of mix the chicken up so that it's fairly coated. It doesn't have to be entirely coated because ultimately we're going to dice this up anyway. Okay? But you have it coated, and then you're going to lay the chicken right in the grill pan. No oil, no fat, no anything. And what you're looking for is that sear sound. And we're going to just kind of let that sit there and do its thing. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grate some cheese so that when the risotto is done, we can just add the cheese, okay? I don't know if you guys can see me over here. Maybe you can kind of turn this way. This is our microplane fine grater. This is just a block of Pecorino Romano, Parmesan Reggiano. There really is no rhyme or reason as to how much cheese do you use. I'm an avid fan. There's really no such thing as too much cheese. But I am also an avid fan of grate your own versus buy pre-grated. Okay. The risotto is in the microwave for about 12 minutes. When it's about halfway done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually throw this kale in, okay, so that it will actually be ready for us when the chicken is done. So I got a good grating of cheese here. I'll leave this here because we ultimately will probably grate some more afterwards. The chicken is grilling. I want to kind of show you guys while that's kind of doing its thing, some of our new fall products. I'm going to just quickly wipe off the knife. We have a brand new cutlery collection coming out. It's forged steel, just like the old one was. They've redesigned it so that the new knives are much sleeker, easier to handle. For those of you that didn't like such a heavy knife. In addition to that, it also on the bigger piece, like the chef's knife. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's see if I can bring it up so that you guys can. You see that little circle right there? Well, that's on both sides. That's actually showing you exactly how to hold the knife. So you want to do like a half, a pinch. So you put your thumb on one side, your finger on the other. And ultimately, this is how you're going to hold it. So I can kind of give you guys a better shot. There you go. So it ultimately shows you how to hold the knife. You really don't want to kind of do this. But basically, the handle is an extension of your arm. Okay? So this will sit underneath here. Okay? The great concept behind this is forged steel tip to tip. No separation in the blade. Full bolster. extra security feature on the back where you position your fingers. I love the new knives. The great concept behind those is they are a little bit lighter for those that don't really like that heavy knife, okay? I also want to kind of show you, this one really, there's not much that we're going to be able to talk about in terms of here when it comes to meals. I haven't designed a meal yet. This is our existing microwave popcorn maker, okay? You just basically put the kernels in there, put it in, cover it back up, close it up, put it in the microwave, about 2 minutes, and you have a whole container of popcorn. This makes about 2.5 cups. Well, now we have a family-size version. This is the daddy popcorn maker, and this is the son. So you got 2.5 cups, we got 5 cups. So ultimately this is a one pot or one trip to the microwave popcorn for the family. I love this, and the whole thing, just like the old one, designed just like the old one, except it's double the size. And it actually collapses. Oops. It collapses when you're not using it to store it. Okay. So ultimately, that's what you got when you store it. Okay. What I do want to kind of talk about is, in the meantime, I'm going to actually go to the stove and flip the chicken. Once I found, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to pull that rock crock out. There we go. I'm going to add the kale. Like I said, normally you would add spinach. Okay? I didn't have any, so I'm adding kale. Okay? So the kale goes in. We're going to mix this around a little bit more. And it's really starting to look amazing. Almost looks like Christmas. Which, by the way, folks, is coming up fast. Alright, there we go. We're going to put the cover back on the rock crock. Put that back in the microwave. Now, because the kale I had was not fresh, it was frozen, it may take a little bit longer to cook because there's going to be some moisture that comes out of the kale. Okay? But what I do want to talk to you about is our new baking line. This is our mini pie pan. It's amazing. But I want to kind of get your thoughts away from just pies. First of all, you do not have to spray this. It's non-stick. So when you are making pies or cakes or anything like that, no spraying it or no flouring it. It's got a beautiful Tiffany color blue backing to it. But the concept behind this and some of the shows I'm going to be doing in the fall are actually where we're going to make meals in these, okay? Not just pies. We're going to make meatloaves, cornbreads, Mexican style type of, I don't want to say tacos as much as they are burrito kind of things like that. Meatloaves. I'm going to show you at shows how to ultimately make meals in these, okay? And we have another version of a son and a father. We have a mini fluted pan. There's 6 molds, same blue backing, okay? But the same concept behind this, no spray needed, nothing like that, okay? So ultimately, again, yes, it's great for baking and it's great for making those homemade gifts and things of that nature, but we're not going to specifically use it for that. What we're going to be doing at shows is I'm going to show you how to make meals in this as well. Things like mini meatloaves, mini lasagnas. For those of you that know shepherd's pie, I know it's kind of an Irish thing, but I think everybody has their own version of it. But we're going to be doing things like stuffed pastas. We're going to be doing things like stuffed breads, or basically, as you may know them to be, oh my God, the word just kind of escaped. But anyway, kind of like stuffed breads. But again, same concept. Show themes are going to be coming up where I'm going to be showing you how to make one-pot meals in these. And then we have the large version of the fluted pan, same blue backing. But again, same concept. Yes, you can bake in them. Yes, and we'll show you some great recipes for that. But ultimately, we're talking about one-pot meals, how to get dinner on the table, and how to do it quickly. When you have both of these kind of pans, or you have, let's say, the mini pie pan, and something like the rock crock or the grill pan, or even the large grill pan, we can make sliders, things of that nature. The new sheet pans that are coming out are now non-stick, and they don't discolor in any way like some of the older ones were doing. But again, one pot meals in the sheet pans as well. So the concept behind this really becomes how to kind of show you guys when you have a piece like this or like this, and something like a rock crock that can go in the microwave, how you ultimately can do prep work for 2 different meals, and ultimately have in 30 minutes, instead of having dinner on the table in 30 minutes, we're going to have 2 nights dinners on the table in 30 minutes. Okay? So that's the concept behind it. Alright, the chicken is actually done, so I'm going to take the chicken out of the grill pan. Okay, just kind of let it rest there for a minute. And you kind of see the nice grill marks you had. I'm trying to get a good picture for you guys. Here we go. Beautiful grill marks, no oil, no fat, and the pan will actually clean up in a breeze, okay? We're gonna just kind of let that sit there. I'm gonna check on the risotto. Get my little microwave grips here. And how you know this is done is if the bulk of the liquid is gone. And in this case, it's not, and I kind of anticipated it may not be, because again, there was liquid in the kale. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in the microwave for another 2 to 3 minutes. While that's kind of doing its thing, we're going to dice up the chicken. Okay? Again, remember, holding the knife the way it should be. And you kind of see the ease of this chicken and dicing it up. You have to forgive the noise in the background. I mentioned chicken, and you can hear my dogs going crazy. For those of you who know my dogs, you'll understand. It's already an effort for them not to be in the kitchen. But there's no holding them back when there's food around and they're in the living room, and I'm sure they can smell this, okay? So, we're just dicing up this chicken, and here you come. I think you may see one of them in the background. Oh, funny. Okay, so we're gonna just continue to dice this chicken up. And he's right here. Alright, so we continue to dice this chicken up. By the time we finish this, the risotto will be done. We got about another minute and a half. But what I did want to talk to you about is, again, some of the concepts coming up with the fall, the new theme shows, my new show schedule, things of that nature. There's lots of great new products coming out, lots of great new specials coming out. The concept really here, folks, is traditionally it used to be I would make a dinner and a dessert, or a dinner and a salad. What we're going to actually do now is we're going to actually make 2 dinners, one for that night and one for you to keep for another night. Okay? whether it be, you know, you opt to let everybody try it and we'll do 2 dinners, that's okay, we can do that too. But ultimately we'll be doing one in the oven and one on the stovetop, or one on the stovetop, one in the microwave. So the concept really is 2 meals at my new show themes, and it'll be done in less than 30 to 35 minutes, okay? And the ease and simplicity of that is really going to show you how having the right tools really becomes a problem solver and a solution-driven kind of show versus, you know, and we're going to still have lots of fun, don't worry about that. So the concept behind that is, if you're looking to get two dinners for 30 to 35 minutes, you want to contact me and book a show. My winter schedule basically is going to be coming out soon. I'm already booking for September, October, November soon, but right now September and October. So get on my calendar. Let me show you and your friends how to have some great food, 2 meals, 1 pot each, in less than 30 minutes. Okay, you guys heard the microwave go off, so I'm gonna bring the risotto over here. I'm gonna kind of clean this cutting board up a little bit. Grab the towel and see what we got. Okay, and at this point, the majority of the liquid has already evaporated, okay? And this is kind of, I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. But first I'm gonna actually put the chicken in, okay? Now again, if you're not a chicken lover, leave the chicken out, okay? They heard the neighbor's dogs now. The glory of summer with the windows open. Okay, so we got the chicken in there. We're gonna just mix this up. Okay. And then we're gonna actually add the cheese to it. Okay? And again, the concept with the cheese, you can never have too much cheese. Okay? So there you go. I'm gonna mix this up. Now normally I would serve this, you know, like if this, you can kind of doctor this recipe up to make it like a fall recipe. You can add some like butternut squash, some craisins to it is really good. You can actually add, you know, shredded beef to it, and that would be great too. But the concept here is with this combined with a piece of crusty bread, and you got a meal. So grab a bowl. Show you what the finished version looks like before we actually scoop this out. Okay, that's what the finished version looks like. I don't know if you guys get it. There you go. Okay. And in this case, all I would do is just scoop some of this up. Okay. Put it in a bowl. Of course, this would be a tiny bowl, but this, and we would just actually add a little bit more cheese on top. You can also drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil. It brings like a creaminess to it, or maybe even like a pat of butter. That'll bring an even more creamier taste to it. But ultimately, there you go. From start to finish, this video is only going 28 minutes, and you got dinner is done, and that will easily feed 6 to 8 people without a problem. So again, I encourage all of you to kind of think about how making one-pot meals for yourself and showing your friends how to make them as well is such a solution-driven problem solver to that age-old question of what's for dinner and I don't have time to make dinner. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, post them underneath the video when I actually post it to my page. And enjoy, folks. Take care.